Happy June, everyone. This is the beginning of June. As promised, I am here to discuss relationships, personal development, purpose, and attaining ultimate peace. I want to extend an appreciation and support for anyone that comes in here and supports this group, okay? I am here today to discuss with you relationships and attaining levels of ultimate peace as much as is possible in the world that we live in today. There are many men and women that have come years before us, striving to find the meaning of life, striving to create statutes and laws that we can follow to attain ultimate peace. Because there's something that most of us can agree on, that the meaning of life is unity and peace with other people and persons and building relationships, and also having purpose in each of our individual lives, being productive and reaching certain goals and aspirations. And so as we are in this new month of June, I feel that it is very important that each and every one of us get to that place in our individual lives where we can say that, yes, I have peace within me. I have peace with self, but also I have peace with those that I choose to form unconditional, loving relationships with. And what I want to express to each and every one of you is a bit of what I have learned and observed in my dealings with men and women, studying human nature and behavior, and just day-to-day wisdom that has been gathered over a long period of time. Now, I know these are my opinions at the end of the day. Some of you may agree with what I say. Some of you may have a differing of opinion. That is fine. Those differences can be cordially expressed as long as they are expressed with respect and no judgment. That is what we are here for, to interchange information, knowledge, experiences, so that we can all live our lives out to our fullest potential and be the best possible versions of ourselves. Today, I want to discuss the importance of being in relationships with people of mutual mindset and mutual intentions. A lot of the times we have relationships, whether they are platonic relationships, whether they're marital relationships, whether they're familial relationships. And a lot of the times, a lot of the tension and disruption stems from not being of the same mind, not having the same intent when coming together to form this relationship. Here's an example. Have you ever been a recipient of a friend or a relationship, someone on the other side of the relationship that does a good deed for you, does a good service for you, and in your mind, you believe it's in their mind as well, this is because of that unconditional love that you share with one another. What they do for you is out of love and care. But you find not soon after the act or this good deed or this good service, you are required to provide maybe a monetary fee or another good act to balance out the deal. This can be quite frustrating. This can raise up feelings of insecurity. This can raise up questions as to the other person's intentions. If you are always in a particular relationship and every time a good act is extended, a good deed is acted upon, you find yourself having to match that good act not soon after, or you find yourself having to provide some type of some type of monetary value soon after. This can be a clear indication that this relationship is of not the same mutual intent. You are here solely upon unconditional love and respect and trust, right? The other person is viewing this as a consumership. This is a partnership. This is a business. Yes, this is a partnership. This is a businessship. I should not even say partnership because you are none the wiser. But I'm going to let you know, a lot of the times, and I've learned this, we are all given signs on the wall. We are all given red flags. We are all given periods at some point in time throughout whatever kind of relationship we're in, hints as to what the intent of this relationship truly is. Have you ever seen or heard a friend of yours, let's say their relationship ended, and she says, girl, I didn't even see it coming. I had no sign. I didn't even know. But after further conversation, you realize there were writings on the wall. There were clues to what the foundation of this relationship really was. There were signs to where this relationship, the direction it was truly going in the whole way through. Now, either it's due to her naivete or choosing to turn a blind eye because her need for that bond was greater than seeing what was right in front of her face. This is true for any kind of relationship. Now, there are certain instances where these friendships or familialships or relationships, if this is in fact a business ship, this should be of mutual understanding. If a person does a good act for you and they are expecting some sort of monetary payment soon after, the proper thing would be to communicate this. Say that, I'm willing to extend myself. I'm willing to sacrifice this to help you. But truthfully, I am not in a place to do this out of the kindness of my heart. I am indeed expecting some kind of payment back, whether it's a favor for a favor or payment for a favor. Because relationships are built upon trust, honesty, love, and communication. But when this communication is not had, that is where the feelings of deceit and dishonesty start to spew forth. Now, there are certain instances where individuals are somewhat, how can I say this, acting under the guise of love, unconditional love. Everything they are doing and saying or paying or whatever the case may be is out of love. And they are aware that they are giving you this impression that this and what they're doing is out of love. Well, where in the back of their minds, or rather in the front of their minds, all the while they are keeping tabs. They are calculating. They are counting the cost. And not soon after, they are coming back for payment. If you find yourself in these relationships where you think and you feel that this is of mutual respect and all things are done out of unconditional love, but you see every single time or more often than not, there is a debt to be paid soon after. It's important to either one, decide, do I want to continue this sort of business relationship with this individual? Or communicate, express, look, I'm starting to see a pattern here. I'm starting to see that although you're telling me this is out of complete love and unconditional love, I'm starting to feel as if this is more like a business relationship. Because every time, or most of the time, if something is done out of love, you say, I have to soon after repay you in some equal manner. Okay? And the reason why I am actually honing in on this aspect of relationships is because sometimes we don't realize how the little things can really corrupt the big picture. When we find ourselves in relationships that don't have the same level of mutual respect, or rather mutual intent, or rather are not of equal, even yoke, if these relationships are not evenly yoked together, someone is always over functioning more than the other person is, or someone believes that this relation is one thing and the other one is treating it as if it's something else. aka a business relationship, this is going to eventually or immediately disrupt your peace. It is going to weigh heavy on your heart because human beings, we are instinctual, we are intuitive, we are creatures of observation. We see, we learn, we catch on to repetition and patterns. And a lot of the times, unless we choose to be ignorant to the fact, which is a choice either way, we are aware and we see these patterns. And so we want to make sure that when we are forming relationships and we find ourselves in relationships, if we truly want to function at our most best selves, we need to make sure that all of our relationships are evenly yoked. Okay, we want to see the world and relationships truly for what they are. Okay, we were meant to live together, love together, be together, learn together. When this isn't mutual, this is where peace is disturbed. Have you ever had a project on your calendar and you've had something to do, and maybe you get into a disagreement or an argument with a friend or your spouse or whoever, and now your mind is distracted? You can no longer function as your best self. You can't focus on the task at hand because truthfully, as human beings, if our peace is disturbed, we cannot be our best selves. And that's why Gandhi and so many other people made it their life's purpose to find and embody that ultimate peace. Because if we're all to thrive and be our absolute best selves, having peace of mind and peace of spirit is critical. When that peace is disrupted, it has a domino effect to the rest of our lives, every other area of our lives. Now, we have those special ones out there who can really just compartmentalize a lot of things and just, you know what, that happened an hour ago. I'm going to block that out until I finish my 8-hour, 9-hour shift, and then I'll revisit that. But most of us, we are feely, okay? We have emotions. Our peace can be disturbed. And that is going to have a drastic effect on every other area of our lives. So for this month of June, I really want us, and I'm doing the same thing, start to pay attention to who we are in relationships with. Make sure that these relationships are of the same mind and mutual intent. And you have two choices. If you, through this process of observation and thinking, and realize, well, wait a minute, this sounds like my relationship with A, or this sounds like my relationship with B, you have two choices. You can either fade into the background and cut it off, or you can come to the table and communicate and express your feelings, express what you've observed, and use the pertinent examples to prove your point. Because none of us should find ourselves unbeknownst in a relationship that is not of mutual respect, unconditional love, and of the same intention. None of us should find ourselves in that situation. And none of us should shortchange ourselves by maintaining these relationships if it is going to sacrifice our very own peace of mind and spirit, because it's going to have a domino effect on every other area of our lives. And just a short lesson on unconditional love built relationships one-on-one. If you are doing something out of unconditional love, out of love, it does not have a price tag. It does not have a price tag. It does not keep track of goods. It does not keep track of good deeds. It doesn't keep track of offenses. It's full of communication, apologies, and forgiveness. That is what true relationships built under unconditional love are based upon. And if your unconditional loving relationship does not exemplify these factors, I would urge you to really take note and realize, come to the table and have a discussion about it, or find yourself exiting from that situation, because it is going to impact your overall happiness. And I am not going to let those who are malicious, okay, get away with doing this. There are people that set out, as I said in the beginning, with this deceitful mindset. They know that you feel that this is a true, mutual, loving relationship. And they are speaking words to hint at that this is exactly what their intent is. But they know for sure that that is not at all what their intentions are. Their intentions are to play upon your unconditional love and do acts so that they can then come and extract payment from you later, whether it's a good deed or whether it's actual monetary means. And so it's important, because the world just isn't filled with kind-hearted, honest-hearted individuals, that we take note to the ones that have this intent in mind. And I almost assure you, if you pay attention, you will be able to see the signs. It's not going to be hidden from you. You probably just got wrapped up in the moments and just didn't pay attention. But pay attention, because this is ultimately going to affect your overall peace. Now, very quickly, I want to also express the fact that life, people, we operate in energy and in vibrations. All living things that move, they are constantly moving, are exerting energy on certain frequencies in the form of vibrations. All right. And so if you want to be your best self, if you want to have abundance, if you want to attract abundance, you have to make sure that when you come into contact with other people, you are coming in contact with those that are vibrating at the same, if not higher frequency than you are. Okay. And I am going to do a live that is completely tailored to talking more specifically and in-depthly about that topic, because emotions equal certain vibrations. For instance, fear, guilt, those are lower vibrating frequencies. Power and strength in love are higher vibrating frequencies. So if you are surrounding yourselves with people that operate out of pain, guilt, anger, these are lower vibrating frequencies. And therefore, if you find yourself consistently in close quarters with individuals operating under these emotions, your vibrations are not going to be able to surpass theirs. Eventually, it's going to lower your ultimate vibration. Okay? It's going to lower the frequency of your energy that you're exerting. And that is seen through association. Usually, when people spend a lot of time together, they begin to imitate one another. They begin to mimic one another. They begin to move at the same pace. It's just human nature. But invisible to the eyes are the energy molecules, the frequencies, and the vibration. And it's very important to see the world in these two ways, because it can definitely impact your purpose, you becoming your absolute best self, you reaching your fullest potential. If you're surrounding around very low frequency vibrations, very low energy people, you are not ever going to reach your fullest potential. And so all of these factors are interconnected and are going to have a great impact on your overall life and your ultimate outcome, and you achieving your best possible self. So I know I kind of took a little bit of this and a little bit of that and a little bit of that and kind of touched on each and every one of those individually. But if I wanted you to take anything away from this video, it's the fact that pay attention to your relationships. But because behind those relationships and people, everyone has their own intentions. And you want to make sure that you are an embodiment of peace. It's very important to be able to center yourself and have peace, even in the midst of chaos. And that is a learned skill, and it is a skill that can be learned. So if you want to be someone that embodies and exemplifies and radiates peace, the first step is to pay attention to the relationships that you have surrounding you and the ones that you are yoked to and tied to. Because with having two different intentions, two different vibrations, two different energy levels going on, you're never going to reach that ultimate peace, and you're never going to vibrate at your highest frequency, because those that you are around, due to emotions, character traits, and all of that, are vibrating at a lower frequency. And I almost dare you to examine, once you finish really sifting out those things that you don't want to vibrate with, those people you don't want to vibrate with, if you were for a minute to take a review to your past and look at why is it so hard for me to get beyond this point in life? Why can I never get beyond this status right here in life? Pay close attention to what you are surrounding yourself with. Who are the 5 people that you most frequently associate with? Pay close attention to that. And I guarantee you there is a direct correlation. So if we want to be better, do better, reach for higher, we are going to have to associate with those that are also on that high frequency wave. And that is what I wanted to share with all of you today, because my goal is for you and I to be our absolute best selves this month, in the month of June. And we need to pay attention to those that we are linking ourselves to. We want to be with people of mutual mindsets and intents. Because if you think for 1 second that it is not going to affect you, you are able to vibe with those vibing on low frequency, and you think that your vibrations are going to level up, you are sadly mistaken, and you will be highly disappointed in yourself and where you have not gone, because you can't go any higher than the energy and vibrations that you are around. Okay? So I hope everyone enjoys the rest of this day. Start working on your very own personal development and making sure you surround yourselves with those that you want to be like, that are where you want to be and have what you want to have, so that we can be creatures of each other and learn and grow together. Have a beautiful, blessed day, and I will speak to you queens and kings later.